It probably is redefining creativity in a lot of ways. It's certainly redefining content, and even more so it's redefining commercial content. At CNN, we definitely think about how technology and content should be merging, particularly whenever we work with commercial brand partners. We use loads of tools in-house to help us analyse and predict and understand how our audience is going to respond to a particular theme or a particular subject or a style and format of content. And we really build that into the creative process. So we're constantly thinking about the technologies that we're using within that decision-making process. But I think going beyond that and thinking about the environments that technology is lending themselves to for content and for storytelling, we're likely about to see a huge shift in how we're creating and how we're responding to that type of content. You know, whether it's AR or VR or autonomous vehicles, there's going to be a real change in how we as consumers are processing content, and that's going to inform the creative process a huge amount. I don't think the shift towards content is something that's come as a surprise to CNN. We've been gearing up for it for a long time, actually. Probably a good indicator of that is how long ago we started building out our branded content solutions. And Create, which is the studio we have in-house at CNN that builds our branded content, has been around for over a decade now. So we started this journey quite a long time ago. And now over 60% of our partnerships actually involve branded content. So we're very much already at the moment where we have safeguarded our business for this shift, and we're in a great position to provide these kind of branded content solutions. As we move forward, the area that I think we're really focusing on is ensuring that our data and insights team are part of that creative journey, and that they're constantly working with Create and with the other studios in-house to make sure that we're creating in a really intelligent and informed way to deliver what we know our partners and our consumers are going to respond well to. And beyond that, you know, we are always thinking about other solutions and other formats that our audience will be interested in. 4 years ago, we launched a company called Great Big Story, which is a video-focused platform that sits completely outside of the news space and creates 2 to 3 minute micro documentaries about amazing and unusual things that are happening around the world, with the real focus on positive, emotional storytelling. And again, that offers us a really interesting and I think unique solution for our partners who are interested in that content space rather than your traditional display advertising. It's an exciting time to be in this industry because of all the types of companies that you've just mentioned and the variety of output that we see coming from all of them. We try not to focus on that idea of competition at CNN. We're in a very strong and quite a unique position in the market. I mean, you mentioned brands like Facebook and Google, and they are companies that we work with every day. You know, we don't see them as competitors, we see them as partners because we work with their channels, we deliver content through their channels to our consumers, and they've really been part of our journey into this digital space. With other publishers that are popping up in this area, again, you know, I think there's a space for all of these different types of content and the different formats that they're working across. But CNN's a brand with 40 years worth of heritage and experience. You know, we deliver content into 475 million households around the world through our TV channels, and we have 200 million unique visitors to our digital sites. So we are in a strong enough position that I think we feel as though if we just keep doing what we're doing and being authentic to the brand and the voice that we've created over the last 4 decades, we'll probably be safe for a while yet. I mean, ROI is something that we're always thinking about with our partners. it's the first conversation that we have when we enter into a renewal with most of our partners, and we're very prepared to answer it. We measure our partnerships in a number of different ways, and we've built in-house tools that allow us to do that and to not only look at what's happened in a campaign, but to really ensure that we're constantly optimizing towards our partners' KPIs as that campaign runs. We also work with a lot of external partners, and I think when you're looking at some of the requirements and the needs in the industry today, sometimes it's worth taking a step back and saying, actually, we should be using an independent party to do this. So we work with companies like Realise, for example, who use facial tracking technology to measure the emotional responses to content. We use global survey indexes, and we use focus groups to understand what our content means for partners in terms of emotional engagement, brand uplift, brand favourability, and we're constantly working towards that. I mean, they're a huge part of our audience, and we've definitely built our business to ensure that we are serving that part of our audience. What's really key to understanding that cord cutter generation, that millennial audience, is that they no longer go to one place to find the content that they're looking for. So part of our strategy over the last few years as we've been expanding our digital business is to really look at the different platforms that we should be making our content available on. And to date, I think CNN is available on over 35 different platforms. Fortunately for us, more than 50% of our audience still come to us directly to consume our content, but we also know that if they want to go elsewhere, they can find us in those other locations and environments. I mean, we're the most followed social news brand. We've got over 140 million accounts across our social channels, so we've definitely worked hard to ensure that that strategy is successful and is meeting the needs of that cord cutter generation. And then beyond that, I mean, I've already mentioned them once, but Great Big Story was created as a brand really to super serve that generation and that type of content consumer. And the sort of globally focused storytelling that we produce every day is there to attract that globally curious mindset that the younger generation definitely have at the moment. It's a really interesting question. I think it's about balance and about knowing your audience and respecting who your audience are. I mean, we have a plethora of tools and resource available to really understand our audience on a granular level and to work out what level of personalisation they are going to be responsive to and to know where to draw the line. I mean, I sit in the London office, so GDPR was a very big issue for a lot of the stakeholders in my part of the business over the last year, and we set up teams internally who would manage that, both in terms of working with legislators but also working with other publishers in the industry to make sure that we weren't just hitting the minimum requirement, but that we were really optimizing those environments for our users in a way that they would be responsive to. I think CNN, above anything else, is known as a brand for its trust and reliability. So we're very conscious and conscientious when it comes to respecting the privacy of our users and allowing them to feel as though that, that trust is a two-way street.